This is Ryan. Shipwrecked ran into scheduling conflicts this week, so we're re releasing an old episode, but we will be back next week with new content. Enjoy.
We don't care who we wanna ship. We're gonna read your fic and we're gonna give it shipwrecked. Ooh, 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 shipwrecked.
All right, so here we are.
Hello.
Back again. I'm still Ryan.
I'm still Cris, at least for today.
Unfortunately.
Ouch! I don't like that.
There's just some things about us that we can't change.
I didn't realize tonight was just going to begin with a roast of me, but I suppose.
And
I'm really upset that
new features this week
has control over the sound effects because it's just gonna.
It's just
the author's stacked
downward spiral.
Me.
So this week, we chose Power Rangers to read about.
Yeah.
Which was recently revitalized with a movie that was released earlier this year. And we were talking earlier. You haven't seen the movie, right?
The movie, no.
I did.
Oh, so you got some hot takes?
Yeah. So I mean, like, they were all very hot, to be sure.
So you just gotta put that on the table first. All right.
First of all, yes, they were all very hot. Second of all, I should hope that they're all over 18, or else that would be weird.
Yeah. Well, now you can Google that later.
That later. We'll put that one in the books. Anyway, so that seemed to breathe life into it because when Power Rangers came out, everyone was a little young to write fan fictions, and it was incredibly campy.
Yeah.
The new movie was also incredibly campy, so it fit, and I enjoyed it.
I just want everyone to know that my idea of a Power Ranger, I'm going from like when I watched it as a child, but I didn't like regularly watch it as a child, so the extent of my knowledge is like there's a pink one, there's a red one, there's a blue one, there's a yellow one, and I think there's black and white ones.
Yep.
Nailed it.
The white one was special. I was a Power Ranger for about 5 years for Halloween.
Which one?
So I'm what some would say an expert.
Power Ranger?
I was always the Red Ranger, first of all.
That's like the best one. All right.
So with the coming of the movie, they only really one pairing became popular because we kind of found out about this when we just started searching for it.
Yeah, all these fics are super new.
Yeah.
Which is like weird.
Like they're all 2017. I was hoping for like some 90s stuff. Like he firmly grasped her waist-wrapped flannel.
Yeah, no. These are all like, oh, no. I have some. Well, they're not fics, but we'll get into that later. The chick who writes Power Rangers poems, she's written some one about old episodes. And these are published
there was a lot
2016.
Of series. Like there was probably over 7 different iterations of the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
In America. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. So I'm going first.
It's morphin' time.
It's morphin' time.
I just need to get that out there.
Just morph into degenerates. Okay. All right. So mine is called Pink Flowers.
No.
And the summary is Trini finds them everywhere. Her locker, her desk. So
that's
pink flowers
everywhere. I don't know what to say to you. That's 2 places. Okay, keep going.
We're off a really bad start.
I'm not about this. Okay. Take me out of the story.
All right. So first of all, I should just put it out here. This story has no capitalization.
Most of my text.
Okay. You wouldn't have noticed them if you hadn't looked properly. They were drawn on small pieces of paper, sometimes ruled but squared most of the time. There was one on her desk every time she entered the classroom, even when no one was in there yet. Okay, so I'm just going to stop right there. I read this once already, but this author needs to learn how to use commas better. Because there's periods, there's a lack of commas.
Are you gonna add them in
And
for her to like help her out?
I'm going to try, but, I'm just kind of going blind at 100 miles an hour here, so.
All right.
Anywhere. Pink flowers. Roses. Tulips. Blanket flowers. Cosmos. Gladiolas. Parentheses. Yes, Trini Googled the names. Which is actually pretty impressive for the artist to actually draw them well enough to be Googled. Anyway, maybe it was a coincidence. Why would someone do this for her? She was just Trini Kwan, the girl who sits in the back of the class and says nothing. No one knew who she was. So also, another stop, Trini Kwan was actually the Yellow Ranger from the first series.
Yeah.
Because, so I think the tags are kind of messed up because Trini was Mexican in the new movie, if anyone hasn't seen it. But she was Asian in the first show. And they probably realized they couldn't release a Power Ranger movie with the Asian person as the Yellow Ranger in 2017.
So what's her name in 2017?
There's still Trini. I forget what her last name is.
Like,
in
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, but it's not Kwan.
No.
I learned that.
Well, maybe these people, it's like retro, so they got into Power Rangers this year, and then they were like...
Yeah, and they're just like, oh man, let me look at this dope-ass 90s show.
I think so.
It's not that dope. Anyway.
Ooh, shots fired.
I rewatched it recently. Maybe the flowers were supposed to be on another desk. She's sitting next to Jason Scott, after all. The Red Ranger. The only class without a flower on her desk seems to be biology. Another coincidence? Who knows? Sometimes Trini wonders who they are from, but she never lets her thoughts wander too far. She doesn't want to be disappointed after all. Biology. Second class of the day. Again, no flower. Trini is still content. She got a drawing of a pink rose today before maths class started with a signature, K-A-H. She still has no idea who it was, but it made her happy that the secret admirer felt confident enough to reveal their initials. It's the last day of school before summer break, and Trini has yet to find out who always draws her all these flowers. Last period, chemistry. She enters...
Of course it is. Like, I don't know why I expected any differently. All right.
When she enters the classroom, there's a note on her desk again. She pauses. No flower, just letters.
No flower, just letters. Fuck.
No flower, just letters. Take notes, boys. Don't forget to look in your locker after K-A-H. So she does. There's a flower in there, like a single pink flower, not a drawing. She turns around, clutching the flower to her chest and smiling, and almost bumps into someone. Brown hair, brown eyes, lightly dark-skinned. And if Trini wanted to say something, she couldn't form words right now. She's beautiful. Breathtaking, even. She almost stumbles, the flower still in her hand. That's a gloxinia, if you're wondering. But Trini knew.
Yeah, she did.
She may have Googled meanings of certain flowers. Being a symbol of love at first sight, it is supposed to make a person you gave a flower to fall head over heels with you the first time your eyes meet. And suddenly, it all makes sense. She knows this girl in front of her is in her biology class, the only class with no flowers ever. Love on first sight.
Wow.
And she's pretty sure she just fell in love with Kimberly Ann Hart.
Oh.
Maybe someone knew who she was after all. The end. All one word. Wow. That was
That's
special.
So fluffy.
That was 100% fluff.
Like a really fluffy fic.
There was very little middle ground with all these fics.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
The fic I found is also, I think, supposed to be fluffy, but it's also kind of weird. Like, just the phrasing is kind of off. So it's also a Kimberly Trini fic. But it's it's called She Keeps Me Warm. And then the description is the one where Trini always has really warm hands and Kimberly has bad cramps, short fluff. Kimberly Hart was fast asleep in her bed when she heard a knock on the window. This could only be one of the Rangers, her friends, because who else would climb up to her window instead of just using the doorbell like any other normal human being? So she begrudgingly, that was all like one sentence. So she begrudgingly rolled over, got out of bed, and went to open the window. When she saw her girlfriend waiting outside, a small smile came onto her lips. "Good afternoon, Princessa," Trini said, and climbed into her room.
Oh no.
She went over to give Kimberly a quick peck on the lips. When she didn't feel her lover reciprocating the kiss, she leaned back and looked at her. Are you okay, amor?" Trini asked, with a frown on her face. So I guess this one is the 2017 one, because she's
hella Mexican right now.
Just not feeling that well, baby, Kimberly said while holding her stomach. Aw, cramps. Trini gave her lover a look full of empathy and a kiss on the cheek. She guided her over to the bed, and both girls sat down. "Good thing I brought donuts, then." Trini pulled out a bag of Krispy Kreme donuts and handed it to her girl. At that, Kimberly's face lit up, and a small grin broke out on her face. "Didn't I ever tell you that you're the best girlfriend ever?" she said, and kissed Trini before pulling out one of the donuts. She bit into it and started moaning. Trini's eyes went wide, but she started giggling. "Raspberry filling, my favorite! Thank you, baby!" Kim finished the donut and kissed her girlfriend again. "You know, I brought something else that could help the small..." Okay, so it said they messed up the punctuation here. So I'm gonna read it how I think they meant it. "You know, I brought something else that could help," the small Latina said, and waved her hands in front of Kimberly's face. "You know, I'm not really in the mood for blank." Trini started laughing, which only confused Kimberly. "Baby, you know I would love to do that right now, because it could actually help out. You know how my hands are always burning up?" Kim still looked at her with a frown on her face. Trini started to blush, but said, "Well, maybe we can watch a movie, and I could just use my hands to ... you know, ... help with the cramps. They're practically like a heating pad." Kimberly was speechless. She never thought that anybody would ever care to her like this. She never thought she would find love. Didn't think she deserved it after what she had done to Amanda. But here she was with Trini, her wonderful and thoughtful girlfriend, the girl she met and became friends with by accident. The girl that ultimately became her girlfriend. That girl cared more for her than anybody ever had before. Okay, but who is Amanda? And what did Kimberly do to Amanda?
Yeah.
I need to know this.
Let me actually do a quick IMDb.
Please, because I need to know. Need to know what she did to Amanda. It's very important to me. I'll keep going. "I love you, Trini." Yeah. Kimberly couldn't stop herself. She just blurted it out. And although they hadn't said it yet, she wasn't scared that Trini wouldn't say it back. Actions do speak louder than words, and when she heard the quiet, "I love you too, Kimberly," she launched herself at the other girl and smothered her with kisses. They continued to kiss for a while and only stopped when Trini heard a small wince. "Come on, Princessa, let's lay down. I'll even let you pick the movie," Trini said and smiled at her girlfriend. After the smaller girl settled down behind Kimberly, she put her hands on the girl's stomach. "Oh, wow, you were right. They really are hot." Trini just scooted closer to Kimberly and whispered in her ear, "Told you so, Princessa." She also gave her a kiss on the cheek before they started watching Sing. After half an hour, Trini could only hear Kimberly mumble, "Thank you again, baby, for everything. I love you. I love you too." And with that, they both fell asleep, cramps gone, and even more adoration for each other in their hearts.
Oh,
was that not
sweet.
Precious?
That was so precious. I looked it up.
Who's Amanda?
Amanda. I can't answer that, but she does exist. she's got an IMDb
She's
credit.
like Becky with the good hair. Like, what is Amanda? What's her role in this?
The actress was Sarah Gray. The movie really only had like the 7 characters in it. So like everyone else probably just had a bit part. So she probably was just in the high school.
Well, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad watcher, but I have no idea who Amanda is. Anyway, that was really fluffy.
Yeah.
Some pretty sick tips there.
Yeah, some hot tips for hot fingers. All right.
Hot tips for hot fingers.
Okay.
I still don't know why they didn't use the door.
I don't know. Oh. Okay.
All right.
You got it.
I'm really happy about this next one that I found. I know. Like, I have to believe that at least some of this was satire, but not all of it. Like, they cannot have
life, you know.
Yeah.
Some of it's satire.
Like, there's some stuff in here that's definitely not an intentional thing that I find really, really funny. And that's why the avocado is considered a superfruit. Zach finishes his speech with a hefty hit of his bong.
What?
He passes the glass piece to Jason. He looks at Zach with a silly smile on his face. Meanwhile, Billy is seeing how many Snickers bars it takes to reach Trini and Kim, who are sharing a rather fat blunt and a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos.
This is incredible.
Zach plops down beside Jason and helps him light the contraption, laughing as Jason hacks and coughs.
Oh.
Trini nuzzles further into her girlfriend and watches as Kim takes a hit from the blunt. The taller girl doesn't cough this time, and she looks at Trini with a look of satisfaction. Yes. Nice, babe. If only you could take bong rips like that, then we'd be in business.
This is so good. Keep going. Oh my god.
Kim rolls her eyes at the shorter girl's jab and presses a kiss to Trini's forehead. Trini leans over to give Billy the blunt, and he eyes it curiously.
Billy the blunt. Oh, man.
Is this going to make me loopy like you guys? Because I want to be able to go home all right. Also, marijuana has a very distinct smell, and my mom is going to wonder why I smell it. And I don't want to make my mom upset. Also, I want to make you guys upset so I can smoke if you want me to. Trini cuts off Billy's rambling with a lighter thrown at his chest. Dude, chillax. We aren't going to make you do anything you don't want to do here. Have some Doritos. Trini passes the bag to Billy, and he smiles at her gratefully. Trini passes the blunt back to Kim after taking another hit, the taller girl frowning as she finishes it. That's like 4 hits.
Yeah,
also.
That's
impressive lungs, guys. I mean, man, they're getting it. Trini, babe, I got you something. Trini shifts from her position in Kim's lap and gives her a questioning look. Kim merely presses a soft kiss to her pocket-sized girlfriend and reaches into her backpack, digging for a few seconds before uttering a quiet, aha. Kim takes Trini's hand and places a small object in her hand. Trini's eyes light up when she realizes what it is. Babe, this is sick as fuck. She gives the fidget spinner a spin and watches it intently, silently, marveling at the toy. Kim giggles and reaches for Zach's bong and one of Billy's Snickers. Trini completely absorbed in the pink and yellow toy. That's real gay, Zach says, as he snatches the toy from Trini. The shortest ranger is immediately brought out of trance. Frowning at the loss of her amusement, she looks around for a moment, considering that maybe she dropped it or gave it back to Kim. Kim, where did it go? Kim looks up from the bong, half a Snickers in one hand, lighter in the other. Clearly annoyed with the interruptions. Her face softens as Trini's lost expression, and she hits the bong before returning her attention to Trini.
I'm just like wondering if
where
this
did
person
what go?
has like ever smoked weed. It's basically like
I'm guessing not.
Right.
These people are getting fucking blitzed. Where did what go? Babe, are you okay? What did you lose? Trini turns in Kim's arms, and Kim brings her hands to Trini's cheeks. Whew. There's something these people should learn about, and it's called pronouns. Anyway,
What?
when Kim, I'm just reading this and it's tough. When Kim notices the threat of tears in her girlfriend's eyes, the lack of her gift, she stands and glares at each of her fellow Rangers until her eyes fall on Zach.
No more bong rips for Zach.
Yeah, Zach is grounded.
Yeah.
He's watching the spinner in wonderment as it spins, giggling ever so often. Kim narrows her eyes and stomps over to him. Zach looks up at Kim and his face immediately falls. He swallows and gets up from his seat on the cable barrel. Hi, Kim. Kim gives him a steely glare and decks him in the stomach. She grabs the fidget spinner and returns to her girlfriend, gift in hand. Trini smiles brightly, and Kim presses an affectionate kiss onto her left temple. Trini snuggles onto Kim once more and spins her fidget spinner, sticking her tongue out at Zach. Zach looks like a kicked puppy, but not for long when Jason says, "Our avocados are a fruit?" And the group of 5 completely loses it. The end.
Wow. I'm just so impressed you found a fidget spinner fig.
And weed. Like, that was the thing. Yeah, it was weed and fidget spinners.
I'm like, beautiful.
Hell yeah.
That's all I really wanted.
I mean, this is rated teen and up audiences.
That's the best story I think that we've found so far. Which, I mean, you found, but...
Without a doubt. Yeah, it's a group effort.
Yeah. And we had that epic poem last week, so... I
know, that was something.
Speaking of poems...
So, you know.
The best thing that I found about this fan community is that on the fanfiction.net community, there's, like, this chick whose username is Smart Kira, who's, like, written, like, 50 poems about the Power Rangers universe, like, some of which is some obscure shit, like, and I don't really know what to say about the poems, except they're definitely not supposed to be funny, and some of them are, like, oddly moving, but I'm just gonna read you guys, like, a sample of them.
I mean, if you throw enough shit at a wall, eventually something will stick.
Okay, so this one's actually kind of sweet. It's called A Ranger's Soul, and she wrote this one in February. Ranger's
Valentine's Day.
A ranger's soul is a fire that never goes out, because they believe in the goodness of humankind and the planet Earth, and they will stop at nothing to protect what they think is right. The end. She's just so cute. And then this one, it's called Goodbye Trini. And the description is, this is something that just popped into my head, so please enjoy and review. Which is basically what they all say, by the way. Goodbye, Trini. Yellow was always your color. You were part of a original team of Rangers, but you went out in the most horrible way that you, being the Yellow Ranger, couldn't even save the day. Now your young life and spirit will be going up to the God Almighty above. Now you can look down sadly at your fellow Rangers from above. Right?
Oh, she rhymed above with above.
Hey, don't hate, right?
Yeah, points
this
off.
This girl's like feeling
points
something.
Off, but it's still sweet.
I feel bad because like we're gonna like do this and we're gonna find out she's like 14. And it's like
yeah, fuck little kids.
14. This one's called Good.
You a dumbass little kid.
Goodbye, Zordon. We will miss you, Zordon, a body less head. In a tube advising the Rangers every day when evil is afoot. You were always there for the Rangers and Alpha, and they were always there for you too. You gave them always go advice. And for that, the Rangers and Alpha are truly grateful. But they were all sad to see you go. You'll be sorely missed. You were our friend, and we will miss you each and every day.
Oh,
I just want you to know that none of the theirs and none of the twos are the right theirs and twos. Like, they're all wrong. There's like not a single one used correctly.
At some point, she should have just used the same one every
Honestly,
single
would have
time.
been more right than this. Like, if she only knew one.
The broken clock is right twice a day.
Right. Okay, now this one is my favorite. It's called Why Prince Philip Why. I don't know who Prince Philip is.
Me neither.
Why Prince Philip Why? You're the Graphite Ranger. You used to be a spoiled brat, but now you have a change of heart, helping people with acts of kindness instead of doing nothing. But we will never see much of you around, so why, Prince Philip, why? Why did you become the Graphite Ranger if you're not even going to join in the fight, leaving all the work to other rangers? Do you have any shame while they do everything and you do nothing? That's how that ends. Oh, man.
Just, wow. Just
yeah, she's having a bad day. Her other ones are like really cute. But, yeah, and I think there's more. She also has some stories I'm not gonna read. One of which is called Wake Up Daddy, and then has a sequel that's called Mommy's Wet. So
I don't think those are things we should
I don't
read.
think so. The thing is, I feel like they aren't even what we think they are. So
maybe we're just bad people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bad person, so I don't know. Well, so overall thoughts on this fandom?
It's needs some work. I think there's just not many people into it because from what I found, all the fics were either like super fluff, like the first one, or just like straight up sex.
Yeah.
Because earlier today I found like one, and it was almost very tempting because it was about Kimberly and Trini, and they wanted to make guacamole, and they ended up fucking each other with avocados.
So that's incredible. That's like my Friday night, basically. Buy some expensive fruit at the
Hey, you up?
At the Whole Foods. Hey, you up?
Hey, you up? Yeah. I only do those Whole Food avocados.
Yeah. Only organic if that's gonna go up there. So
right. So yeah, it was like either that or just like them talking about their Power Rangers in class, or like the Power Rangers fucking, and there's nothing in the middle.
Wow.
And gosh, there's just so much potential here with like 8 seasons of Power Rangers in a movie. They could have given me something more to work with.
Yeah, I agree with that. Besides, I guess there's not really like some sort of unifying thing for the fan base. Like, no Power Rangers meetups. Although, okay, if there was a Power Ranger meetup, would you go to it? Like, I have mixed feelings about this.
It depends how far I'd have to drive and how much it would cost to get a costume.
That's fair.
Because I think it might be frowned upon to just wear a morph suit to a convention center.
I mean, I think that sounds great. So
I think that sounds like an amazing time.
There are now Power Ranger morph suits.
Yeah, but morph suits, they don't really.
You're saying they don't cover much? You got.
Yeah.
There's some things you would.
That's kind of what I'm getting at here.
I see. So that's why you want a costume. So it's not all.
Just need to mighty morph into another suit.
You don't want all that jingle jangle out. I get it.
I get it. Yeah. There's kind of a lot going on with that suit.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I feel like we didn't learn anything today.
I didn't learn any. Well, no. You know what? I confirmed how many Power Rangers there were. So.
Well, but actually, that changed in the different series.
Okay, so never mind. I've learned nothing.
I feel like we should just end this episode before I just ramble about Power Rangers.
Yeah, no one wants to know that.
Ad nauseum.
Honestly.
No one wants to know that. You have to go back to 2002 and watch it yourself.
If people wanted to know it, there would be better fan fiction. That's all I'm going to say. Also, you guys check out Smart Kira.
The evidence is there.
Smart Kira has 11,000 postings on fanfiction.net. So if you're bored and you want to go down a deep, dark rabbit hole,
goddamn!
Welcome. All right, and that's all I have to say.
And that's the show.